episode 106 of the Dinner Sisters podcast, where two sisters taking on the nightly challenge of dinner. I'm Kate Schultz, living and working in Rhode Island. I'm a passionate cook and recipe collector, always thinking about my next meal.
And I'm Betsy Wallace. I live, work, and raise a family in Atlanta, Georgia. I love dinner time, but can always use help planning and cooking for my family of 5. Kate, especially in these uncertain times here.
Yeah, no kidding. These very close-knit times as we're all just together. You know?
Socially distanced, but with our loved ones.
Oh, boy. Our goal of this podcast, cook a little better, learn a little bit about food, and most importantly, figure out what the heck to have for dinner. So here's how this works. Like every week, we have 3 recipes that we cooked and reviewed from popular food blogs, internet chefs, anywhere I could find a recipe. We'll have all these recipes, tips, the smorgasbord, and our shopping list on our website, dinnersisters.com. You can also get them sent directly to your inbox by subscribing to our newsletter, if you'd like to preview the recipes before listening.
Okay, Kate, so this week's recipes were Wisconsin butter burgers from The Cookie Rookie, Chipotle Chicken recipe from Culinary Hill, and Olive Garden breadsticks from Cooking Classy.
You asked for it, and we are delivering. This week we have all restaurant copycat recipes. These are the ones that you love so much while you're out, so why not try make some at home?
Yeah, Kate, this is kind of a fun, whole-tapped genre of internet recipe development that feels very uniquely suited to the online space, right? Mm-hmm. People are not publishing cookbooks about this. These are not generally... Right. They're just these fun little recipes that float out there, and there is a recipe for just about anything you could look for.
Oh, yeah. I went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I went down the rabbit hole. One thing we didn't do, but a friend suggested, which I still may do, is they even have recipes for the fire sauce from Taco Bell.
I mean, so fun. So if you were looking for like a little project or a little fun thing to do, especially with kids or just on your own, this whole copycat internet recipes is just kind of a neat little corner of the internet that would be...
For sure.
That would be fun to explore. Which is what we did for this episode this week. So kick us off. What do we have first?
Betsy, I thought we would start with a recipe from our home state, the Wisconsin butter burgers from the Cookie Rookie. So in case you're not clear and haven't heard of a butter burger before and are like, what are you talking about? Basically, in Wisconsin and other Midwestern states, I hear even in the South now, there's this burger and custard, frozen custard chain called Culver's, right? And so they really popularized it. Although you can get a butter burger other places, this is like where you go if you're going to get one. And so basically describe it, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's just a super rich and decadent burger that's fried and buttered up, Yeah. I mean, that about sums it up, right? This version in the recipe has butter-fried onions, melted cheese, and a 1/4 pound patty, and a buttered bun. Like, even listening to it, I feel like I need to take, like, some heart medicine or go for a jog or something. So to make it, you fry a chopped onion and a couple tablespoons of butter until a little browned and translucent. Scoop those into a bowl and then fry up 4 1/4 pound burgers, about 1 inch thick hamburger patties. Nothing complicated, just a beef patty seasoned with salt and pepper. This goes super quick, 3 minutes on the first side and 1 minute on the other. And then after that minute on the second side, you top each burger with a slice of American cheese and let it melt. When it's all gooey and delicious, you pop the burgers into generously buttered buns. Say that 3 times fast. Top with onions and then eat. That's about it. These were out of control. It's the only way I could describe it. How did you like them, Betsy?
I mean, I can't tell you the last time I made burgers. It was probably last summer. So
yeah,
these were so delicious on multiple levels just because it felt so fun to have a burger. But it was, Kate, like decadent, rich. Whoa, let's do this once a season or something.
Yeah.
Something meal.
Don't make these every day, guys.
This cannot be your normal burger recipe, but it is a really fun copycat recipe. And I think if you're doing it for that reason, a really fun little quick project to do. And they were delicious. I thought they turned out really well. Pretty approachable, pretty easy, kind of a fun thing to do, but like not something that should go in your rotation, as we say.
Yeah. What do they say on Sesame Street? A once in a while food?
Yes.
Yes. And like real talk, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I did not put they said 2 tablespoons of butter on every bun.
Oh, I did not do that.
I was like,
oh my gosh.
I was like,
Oh.
no, I'm not doing that.
Like, stop trying to
like
kill me, internet. Yeah.
I know. It's like, I put a couple teaspoons, and even that I was like, I cannot believe I'm buttering a hamburger bun. I'm not like I don't crave a burger, I mean, I like them, but even I was like, oh, I can't stop eating this. We only made 2, which was plenty. No need to have leftovers for this. I will say if you're a burger person and you're looking for a treat, or if you can't make your way to a Culver's, this is super delicious. How do the kids like them?
I mean, I thought they were so good. They love a burger. I will say, I guess we don't make burgers very often. And so this was just like especially tasty. Some had with onions. I think maybe Maida tried it with onions, and then I'm sure Grant and Maggie did not. So that's a super flexible thing. I mean,
yeah.
But for the most part, you just get like kind of a buttery, delicious burger with a toasty bun. I mean, yeah, it was just good.
Yeah, so this is like a 4 out of 5 for me. No complaints other than you can't make it a lot. How about you?
Yeah, me too. I kind of went the same, like 4 out of 5. I don't feel shy about dialing back that butter if you need to.
Yeah. It'll be plenty rich. Like, don't worry. Yes. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
But a fun recipe and just a fun thing to make. So, okay, second recipe of the episode, Chipotle Chicken from Culinary Hill.
I love a good Chipotle burrito bowl with the rest of them, Would you like guacamole? Always. It's extra. No problem. And I just thought it would be fun to make their chicken at home. Can I spice up any burrito bowl you're making at home too? And it's a pretty straightforward recipe, which is nice. You just marinate 4 pounds of chicken breast in a puree of oregano, cumin, adobo sauce from that can of Chipotle's and adobo, ancho chili powder or soaked ancho chilies, garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper. You just blend that up, blitz it up in a blender. And you marinate your chicken for at least a half an hour and then bake or grill it. And I baked it according to the directions since it's not quite grilling weather for us, which was in a 400-degree oven. You put the breasts in an oiled dish and then cover them with parchment paper. You bake it for 30 to 40 minutes or until 165 degrees. Now, the chicken was really moist. The marinade was just a little spicy. Betsy, how'd you like it?
Yeah, I liked this. So out of the gate, I thought this was good. I thought it was pretty easy to put together. I found the ancho chili powder just at the Target spice seasoning rack, so it's pretty easy to find. And those cans of adobo chipotle chilies, which is funny because we have been using them a lot recently, and we hadn't really.
Yeah, I think I'm on a little Chipotle kick or something.
You must be, because they just keep coming up, which is useful because you use kind of one chili or kind of half a little bit of the sauce or something for each recipe. So it's nice to have a couple of them, which was great. I thought these would be better on the grill. I liked it. It wasn't screaming Chipotle chicken to me, and I thought that was maybe because it didn't have that high heat charring and grilling kind of that they have. So I made the whole 4 pounds. I cut it up into kind of Chipotle chicken size hunks. So I kind of almost a dice sort of thing.
Yeah. It's pretty small.
Yeah. And we used it for rice bowls and salad toppings. I think I threw it into some quesadillas later in the week.
Oh, cool.
It taught me a lesson in how handy it was to have this pre-chopped, nicely seasoned protein in the house. I loved having that little extra kick to it. So when I did make it as a quesadilla, it felt great. It felt like it had some flavor in there already, and I didn't have to do too much else. But I bet this would be really, really good if it was grilled. I don't have a grill pan, but maybe if you were using a grill pan or even a Foreman grill or something like that. I don't know.
Sure. I'm with you on the grilling bit. I think the best part of Chipotle chicken is the little charred bits, which you just talked about, right? And so I'm going to save this marinade for when I can get to our apartment's grill. It's an easy marinade. I think a lot of people would like it. I'm with you on the whole protein for the week thing. I might not do 4 pounds, but a couple pounds, then I'd actually be pretty good, And then I was thinking too, this might be, a burrito bowl as a grilling party. It's kind of fun if you think about it. As opposed to burgers and brats, you just throw those chicken breasts on there, chop them up, and you've got all the fixings, I think people would really like it. So, yeah, this is a 4 out of 5 for me. I feel like it might have been a 5 if I had been able to grill it, but pretty good. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you on that because I wasn't so convinced that the grilling, I don't know, we just haven't done it yet. So in the instructions said you could bake it. And I thought as a baked chicken, it was fine, but I would not tell someone to make it as a Chipotle copycat, which was like as advertised. So
who knew it was the grilling that really did it, if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That adds the little extra magic, I guess, but still definitely a solid marinade. So don't hesitate to use it if that's your thing. All right, so last up, we have Olive Garden breadsticks from Cooking Classy.
I live in a land of seriously good Italian food right now, so I rarely get to the Olive Garden. I mean, no offense to the Olive Garden, but I just don't get out there very much. But I went all the time in high school and in college. So their soup, salad, and breadsticks deal is still one of my favorite things, and I would eat so many of the breadsticks with that soup. So why not make them? It's a pretty straightforward dough. You've got all-purpose flour, vegetable oil, salt, yeast, and plenty of sugar. Mix it all up, and you just knead it until it's smooth in your stand mixer. You just let it rise until doubled, punch it down, and shape it into 12 equal breadsticks. And the breadsticks go in a lined sheet pan and rise until puffy, about an hour or so. And then you bake them off at about 11 to 13 minutes at 425. Right when they're out of the oven, you rub each breadstick, which is ridiculous, with a stick of butter. Just butter them up and sprinkle a garlic salt mixture on top. All right, Betsy, how did everyone like these?
Kate, a theme of this episode is just add butter. I think.
Right.
I think it is. Is the key to the copycat recipe.
Okay.
So we liked these and we talked about this. You can definitely taste the sugar in the dough. And we both thought that was sweeter than maybe we were used to. It's definitely buttery and salty. Again, not an everyday recipe, but kind of a fun project. And I ended up making a copycat zuppa Toscana to make with
did
these.
You really?
Yes, which was so fun because that was just a little kale and Italian sausage and kind of a cream-based soup.
Yum.
Tons of copycat recipes for that out there.
You can just go to town. Maybe I should have made the minestrone. Who knows?
You could have. So you could really do this up because Olive Garden has a lot of copycat recipes out there. So it was fun to make the breadsticks with the soup and, it's just kind of a fun little project.
Yeah, I will say the taste of these brought me right back. I probably used less butter than the Olive Garden. If I had really gone to town with the butter, it probably wouldn't. I feel like these things were always soaked in butter.
Yes.
But, we love them. I didn't mind eating one with dinner. That's for sure. But they were a little on the sweet side for me now. I think maybe back in the day, I just thought that was delicious. And now I'm kind of meh. If I made these again, probably dial back on the sugar. I think if I had to rate these, it was a 3 out of 5. It was fun for nostalgia's sake, but I'd probably make a different breadstick recipe at this point in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Betsy? What do you think?
I mean, I'm giving these a 4 out of 5 just because I thought it worked well. And I mean, my kids liked them and they were sweet, a little bit sweet, salty, buttery. I mean, it was good. It was a fun recipe that I think I might make again if I'm doing a soup, salad, and breadstick dinner, which I think is kind of a fun idea.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. All right. So the winner for me is the Chipotle chicken. I feel like it's a recipe that I would definitely make again. Was super simple and just kind of delivered in flavor.
Kate, I'm going with that too because I liked the other two, but that chicken recipe is one that I actually will bring into my daily life. I think that is not just for the novelty of it, that actually I would make again because I thought the marinade was good and I'm excited to try it on the grill.
Yeah, same. I mean, as much as everyone would love to eat a butter burger every week,
with some Olive Garden breadsticks.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, if any of these recipes sound good to you, make sure to check out our show notes and grocery list at dinnersisters.com. There you'll find links to all the recipes and any tips or techniques we discussed. If you'd like to chat more with us, you can always ask to join Dinner Sisters Facebook group, which we would love to have you. It's such a fun group. We're at Dinner Sisters Podcast. Just search for that and you'll find us there.
Okay, before we head to the smorgasbord, a break. Okay, Kate, today on the smorgasbord, we're going to talk about comfort baking and baking projects in general now that we're all kind of socially distancing ourselves in trying to help maybe stem the tide of this global pandemic we're about to be in or are in.
No kidding. Yeah. So I thought it'd be just fun to talk about any projects that we're doing because you and I were kind of talking about this already. I am still making quick bread for my weekday breakfast, which is so good. I'm going to make the whole wheat seeded banana bread again, which are seeded whole wheat. I always say it wrong, but in any case, it's delicious. And I feel like it's really filling with all those seeds. So I'm going to make that one again. And that I think is from Bon Appetit. We'll have the recipe on our show notes if you want to make that. And the nice thing about this one is it's really easy to make nut-free because it's just full of seeds. There's not much else in there. And it kind of still has that nutty texture and flavor to it, which I really like. And I have a feeling I'll be going back to making some sourdough things. If I'm going to be, we'll see if I have to stay home, work from home. It might give me some time to do all that long rising that you need. What about you, Betsy?
That's fun. I did also pull out bread toast crumbs again, which is Alexandra Stafford's cookbook that we reviewed. And it really just has so many fun bread recipes in there. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, she has a recipe that uses instant yeast, and then you bake it off in these Pyrex bowls, small Pyrex bowls. And so each bowl is is it 1 or 2 quarts, I think?
I think it's like one quart. They're really small.
And it makes these 2 small round loaves that just bake right in the bowl, and it's no knead, so you can mix it up and then you let it rise in the bowl. It's just really fun and easy and satisfying way to get a loaf of bread. And she has a lot of different variations. So I love the oatmeal. I have made that a lot, and I made that again this week. And I saw Christine in the Facebook group said she made the olive loaf.
Oh, that looks really good.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, Kate, is I found my bakery at Publix to be really lacking bread, and at Target, the whole bread aisle was cleared out.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes.
So like a little bread baking project is both fun and useful. So there's that.
And your kids are super into that oatmeal bread. I mean, you and I were talking the other day, and I heard you say, I don't know who it was. Nope, not ready to rise yet. Not ready to go in. Just a second. And so they really enjoy that bread.
They do. And it's a nice one because it just makes you feel like it's a nice, filling, healthy snack. I mean, with a slather of butter and some honey on there too, but it's good. We like it.
We need comfort right about now. I also wanted to talk about some online resources that I've been finding for pantry and food items. And I think one that's been really fun is our pal, virtually, we don't actually know her, but Julia Turshen, who we've reviewed a few of her books, and she's got a great Instagram feed. She has been talking about her guidance for cooking in a pantry when, maybe we're practicing some social distancing, and she has some recipes for using up staples, and she's taking direct messages for ideas and then posting her responses in her stories. So if you ended up buying a bunch of beans and rice, or have a cabbage that's rolling around and you don't know what to do with, this might be a good resource for you. Plus, her cooking I've always loved. It's simple in a way that's homey, but still extremely flavorful and delicious and kind of nourishing in a lot of ways. So I just thought we kind of put that out there. Look at her stories on Instagram for some guidance.
She also has a podcast called Keep Calm and Cook On, which, if you haven't listened to it already, we'd recommend it. And you know what else I saw on Instagram this week, Kate, and maybe others did as well, is that Simi Nosrat is going to start a podcast, or has started a podcast, answering home cooking questions as well.
Yes.
And I think that is really fun and timely. So I have been so inspired by just seeing all these great food writers and recipe developers that we just love have been really taking to Instagram to show you how to cook a little better, or some hacks and some encouragement and things like that. And I thought that's so nice.
The hours ring on and you start to feel a little anxious. It's good to connect in so you don't feel so alone. It's hop on one of those Facebook Lives and see what people are up to. And I would love to hear on our Monday, if you all have some ideas, or people that are putting some fun things up right now, or doing any of that work. I think now more than ever, we need that connection. So if you're not in our Facebook group, please join us. I think Betsy and I will be stepping up our game in the next couple of weeks as we kind of hunker down. We'd love to meet you, love to hear from you and hear what you're doing in your kitchen nowadays.
Yeah, that would be great, Kate. And I was thinking about the fact that we're in this socially distanced, people some people are really loving it. And I find myself like every time a neighbor is walking, we are shouting at each other like, hey, how are you? It's like having a conversation across the road, because for those of us who do like to really connect with other people, it can be hard. So we can connect virtually and share our recipes and share what we're cooking and chat on there, and it'll be really fun. So as long as it works, Kate and I will be cooking our 3 recipes a week. No interruption to the podcast. We're going to do our best on here and keep going, because
that's all we can do.
That's all we can do. Yeah. Okay, so coming up next week, we are going to air our interview with Susan Spungen.
I am so excited to hear her tips for entertaining. I think it's going to be, honestly, a great escape from kind of like this idea that we kind of maybe can't host people yet, but you know what? You can host your own family and maybe get some ideas for making the cooking that you're doing a little more special.
Yeah, Kate, it is funny because so many of the cookbooks that are coming out this spring are about having people over. It's just kind of this theme. This terrible timing. But anyways, it's still fun to read through them. But we will air that next week. It was a really fun episode, and I'm looking forward to hearing everyone's feedback on that. All right, so that's what's for dinner this week. See you next time on The Dinner Sisters. We'll save a spot at the table for you.